the Extreme Gaming Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Extreme Gaming Podcast, episode 241. It's August 15th, 2024 that we're recording this. And I am Grey Gamer 25, and I'd like to introduce my buddies here. Go.
I'm not your buddy, guy. Sorry, it's a South Park reference. It's Trev, Trekway Trev. Hello. Don't forget the Trekway and all YouTube and podcasts and platforms for all your Star Trek goodness.
And it's me, Matt, also known as Irish Guardian on pretty much Twitch and this there. Yeah.
And everywhere else.
Hello.
And everywhere else I can think of. Yeah, so far.
So how you doing, boys? How you doing? Good?
All better after audio setup. Audio increase. I've ranked up, and we're just waiting for Matt now to rank up, and then we're good.
We've been leveling up and playing our game, a better game. Well, you know what I mean. The audio game. Anyway, a few announcements to get out of the way as usual. We are going to be adding on another Twitch stream. We do the one, of course, this one once a week. But we are going to be adding another one coming August 21st, Wednesday at 7 p.m. BST time. We're going to be gaming, probably all three of us and whoever else wants to join us in the Discord.
Yeah.
So that'll be something that'll be pretty much every Wednesday night. As long as we can hold down the fort, we'll be there. So you'll be able to see the podcast, or rather the gaming, on the Wednesday, and the very next day on Thursday you can catch the podcast. And if you want to join the Discord and join us in the gaming or whatever else, or just to look at it or read it or whatever, discord.gg/Extreme Gaming Podcast. Of course, that's all one word. That's discord.gg Extreme Gaming Podcast. If you have any questions you want to ask about games or PC technology, hardware, any of that kind of stuff, you can jump in the Discord, drop it in Gen Chat, and we will most assuredly get it on the podcast and talk about it. As Trev mentioned before, we also do some other podcasts of our own. Gray's Green Room, I try to do about once a month, talking about all things in entertainment. And the Trekway, which obviously talks about Star Trek.
I thought it was to do with gardening. Oh well.
We will be doing more of that soon because
there
is a Trek series coming up soon. I think it's October, right? Is the next one? So we'll be coming on with more regular stuff then. Anyway, to roll into the show, like I said, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're loaded with things to mess with. So I think we'll start off with Trev. He's got some game news that we can all talk about. Go ahead, Trev.
I don't think there's any new game this week that any of us have played, or certainly not in the notes. Anyone can jump in with anything they've got. If you've got something later, Matt, you can jump in. But I know you're going to talk about Fallout 4 stuff. Were you talking about the gameplay and the install, or just the install?
I can do both. I was talking about mainly the gameplay, what it adds to it.
Good.
Yeah, I can do the install too. I want to do fully installation. I'll just talk a little bit about it.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. Right, okay, so scratch that then. We do have a game to discuss, kind of. Even though it's not really a game, it's a mod, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
We always have lots of games to talk about.
This happened last week. I think it might have been the same evening as the last podcast last week, like later on, when QuakeCon started. I've always wanted to go to that, but I think it's like in Texas or something, so it's a bit far away for me. And despite it being named QuakeCon, very rarely is there actually any Quake stuff in it. It's mostly Doom and other things, and like they have a little LAN party and stuff. So one of the first things they announced on that very evening was, now Gray wasn't excited about this. He loses staunch Doom points for this one. Doom 1 and 2, right, the old timey-wimey classic ones, were remastered. They were completely remastered. And they also included a bunch of additional modes and maps as well. So you've got original Doom 1 and 2, of course, but you've got Legacy of Rust, Sigil, No Rest for the Living, Master Levels for Doom 2, the Platonic Experiment, and TNT Evolution. I think one or two of them is actually, Legacy of Rust is all new content in the mode of Doom 1 and Doom 2, which I found really, really cool. Some of the upgrades that came along to this are, they're pretty obvious. It still looks old-fashioned game, but they have, if you're on a PC, you will get up to 4K, 120 frames, although I was getting more than 120 frames, so I don't know what that's about. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. Obviously, they won't go as high on them, but still, it's upgraded. If you already own Doom 1 and 2, which I owned Doom 1, not Doom 2, or was it Doom 2 I ordered? I had to get Doom 1. Anyway, I only had one of them. I just paid...
I was saying one of those.
What? Just the one Dooms, just the one of the old Dooms. I bought the other one. I only paid like $5-6 for it because you can buy it for $10 this pack. But if you already own the original two, you get these two upgrades for free. Well, it's actually more than two upgrades, which is really, really, really cool, actually. Also, as well, the music. So you can't switch between the old and the new graphics because it's more of a remaster than a graphical overhaul. But the music's been remastered by the guy that done the soundtrack for Doom Eternal. And Doom Eternal soundtrack, like all the Dooms, has been fantastic. So this guy remixed the originals. I don't know which I prefer. I love them both. You can, on the fly, switch between old and new. So I was just having the new stuff on, running about with the old Doom music on. I was, oh, yes, I'll be back in school again. I'm trying to remember where all the shortcuts and the hidden doorways are and the noise you press when you go up against the wall. It sounds a bit rude now to make that noise in a game today, but back then they got away with it. It's a very weird grunt. But it was just really, really cool to see that again with the new music in it, the remastered.
In the old Doom, does he still go every time he gets hit by something?
Yes, he does that too. Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, the original sounds there. It's just been remastered, so it sounds better.
So now his sounds a lot better, high fidelity.
The other thing about these games as well, there's a new deathmatch pack. You can play deathmatch, online deathmatch with this, which you could never do before unless you had to have the old-fashioned LAN party where you actually hooked up PCs together with 25 maps and the 6 bonus episodes that I mentioned before. That overall is a fantastic value, full stop. If you have the game, if you don't have the game. I found out after I bought it, and not that I have a problem with it, that it is available on Game Pass for free, obviously. But that doesn't bother me because I wanted to own that. I didn't want it to potentially one day go out of Game Pass and never have it again, boys. So I'm really glad I've got it as well. Yeah.
You did say that as well earlier on when I was saying,
yes.
It's free. Yeah, what you're buying.
Is it really free, though? For them to take it away whenever they want, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, like 16:9 aspect ratio and stuff as well, because the original game wasn't like that as well. It uses something called the Key EX engine, which was used for the recent remasters of Doom 64, Quake, and Quake 2. So they've done a really, really good job there. Overall, like, it's available on every platform more or less, and it tides us over until next year. I told Gray about this. I was so excited. I went straight. I should have went to my bed. It was like 2 a.m. or something. I was like, nope, I'm doing this now. And I'm telling Gray, and he's like, oh, that's cool, but it still looks shit. And I'm like, what? I said, right. Your Doom membership has been revoked. It's in the post as we speak.
It looks like much higher quality shit now.
Higher quality pixels.
You're slagging something that was state of the art back in 92, 93, man.
Dude, you're talking to the wind. I'm the one who played the games when they came out.
And you loved them. Of
course I did. And why? Because there was nothing better then. I didn't know any better. Nobody knew any better. I came along as things started improving. I'm going like, ooh, that's nice. I'm not going back to that. Ooh, this one's nice. I'm not going to go back to that one. Ooh, this is the.
Yeah.
So I got the benefit of seeing every new thing that came afterwards. That's why when I saw Doom 2016, I couldn't control myself. I couldn't believe how good that looked, and I thought they would never do Doom again. They would just keep on redoing the old one or doing whatever they're going to do. And I just gave up on ever happening. So when Doom 2016 came out, I'm just like, wow, okay. And
You're
I was so happy it was a big hit because we got the second one and now the third one's coming. So it's like, yay. So we're all happy. But no, I saw the quality jump. There's no doubt about it. It's just with me personally, it's still going backwards to graphics that I'm not overly thrilled about. Even though it does look really good. And the thing that I did get right away though is the sound, because the sound sounded way better. And I really do like the idea of them redoing the soundtrack. It sounded good. It really sounded good. So that was the first thing I noticed right away. On those. So it's a great thing. And if you want to relive your childhood, like, hey, nothing better. I mean, there's a lot of games coming out now that they're either remastering or bringing up to snuff a little bit, and it's worth, going after. And if you're not getting the frames, you can always get into lossless scaling that we've talked about more than once, and it'll improve the frame rates on all these old games. So
if you're struggling to get decent frame rate for Doom 1 and Doom 2, even remastered, then I would throw out your literal potato that you got from the farm and probably actually get a decent PC.
Some people could be doing it on a laptop. You never know.
Even then,
you could do.
It's been remastered. It's still an old game, so it should run no. But that takes me on to the other bit of Doom news, which is something I saw, which was kind of cool. I don't think it's something I will do because it's a mod, so I'm surprised Gray didn't pick up this because he likes mods on Doom.
I picked up on it.
Oh, you did?
I saw it.
You knew about it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. Doom 2, someone put a mod in for ray tracing. Now, I don't know how I feel about it because it completely changes the look of the game. Just go and Google this, right? Doom 2 ray tracing. It looks like what it might sound like. State-of-the-art ray tracing visuals, right? The way the light's bouncing off things, but with the old-timey-wimey graphics, right? It just looks weird. Yeah. So if I take myself out of that mode, Gray, I still think it looks pretty cool. I like what they've done with it. You saw the pictures as a video for it as well. It just some scenes look a bit weird, like they were washed out. What do you make of this, Gray? You a fan?
Not really, because I mean, I from a technical standpoint, I think it's pretty cool. But from a practical standpoint of playing the game, it's almost like you're trying to do two different things at the same time, and they're so wildly different. It doesn't seem like it meshes. You just might as well just stick with the old graphics and do the remaster and don't worry about the ray tracing. It's the same thing when they did Minecraft. Now, I'm not a big fan of Minecraft because I just don't get into the blocky stuff. It just doesn't get me. But they did ray tracing. There's mods for ray tracing in
that
Minecraft.
looked cool though.
So I look at it and I see like all the blocky stuff going on, and then all of a sudden there's like this body of water that looks perfect. It looks just like real water, right? And I go like, that's weird.
Really out of place, kind of.
I think it looks cool in Minecraft. It looks cool in Minecraft, not in this Doom.
Yeah, well, even less because Minecraft at least has an old look, but it's a newer game, whereas these are old games. I mean, they came out long ago. So yeah, I'm not. Again, technically wise, it's cool, but I if you're gonna do it, just play the old graphics. Don't mess with the ray tracing. It's not worth it. I don't think. That's personal opinion.
You summed it up perfectly, Gray, when you went. It's just two extremes like mashed together. It just looked weird. If it was in other games, more modern, it looks a lot better. Matt, had you seen this before, or did you just see it because you saw the link maybe in the notes, maybe?
Yeah, I saw the link.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think it has any place in these games.
Wasn't designed with it.
Yeah, it just doesn't match at all. It's too extreme. You have one side there, and then you got all this fancy stuff. It just makes no sense.
I think part of the thing is
soup it up a bit, but that's it. You don't need to add all this nonsense to it.
The remaster was okay. The remaster was maybe okay because you've seen that, but maybe don't go as far as ray tracing.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah, keep that off.
I mean,
if
you're going to ray trace, you might as well just bring it all up. What would you guys think? You're thinking about it for a second. What would you guys think about taking the Doom 1 and Doom 2, all the old games, and bringing it up to the standard of graphics that you see in Doom 2016, but you don't change anything as far as how the game goes? In other words, it's taking everything that happens in the game but just in making all the visuals state of the art, but not changing any of the
don't change in the mechanics, because the thing is with the original two Doom games, it didn't matter if you were going from left to right because you couldn't go up and down with your gun. So like if someone was up there and you shot, or someone was down there, it didn't make any difference. You'd shoot them all the same. So you couldn't change the mechanics, because that would ruin the game. But to see it being upgraded, I don't know if that's possible. Probably is. But usually people change mechanics and everything, Gray. So it's like a remaster completely.
I don't think you're going to see it happen. But I think if they could do it, I think it'd be kind of neat.
I think it would be good.
That would be different. I mean, it would look just as good, monster-wise, Doomslayer-wise, and other things going on in the all the graphics, all the scenes, all the ground, all the air, everything is going to look like 2016. But like you said, it can't go beyond the mechanics of what it was doing then.
Yeah,
and I think that would be very cool if someone wanted to mess with it. But hey, who knows?
Be a lot of work.
And me in mods, I'm very lazy. Me, boring vanilla person. I'm not like these established vintage gentlemen who are willing to try and dabble in exotic stuff, but not me. Vanilla all the way. So you're probably a little bit of an effort to install it.
So that means you'll never play Fallout London, then, I assume.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll see how difficult that is, because it's not a straightforward process, which Matt will get to in a moment. Just kind of touching off in the news there, finishing off the news. We got, now, I think I heard this in a podcast or a video online somewhere, so I don't have a link for it. But I was hearing heavy rumors that, listen to me, I don't have an insider in the industry, I really don't, that GTA 6, we knew it was probably going to be 2025, and we were hoping it wouldn't slide from then. They're very optimistic. People are saying that it would be in the autumn of 2025, which at least it's not winter, because that would be right at the arse end of the year. But I'll take that. It'll probably be at the very end of autumn, so probably like September, October time. I just hope it doesn't slide, guys. And I know you guys will probably wait, but I'm probably going to get it for the PlayStation, because I said I wouldn't double dip. You never know, but I don't want to be paying a fortune for both games. They're doing this on purpose. They're doing this on purpose. Like, they could easily make a PC version at the same time, or port it out to someone to do that, or get someone to do the port. Sorry, but they want to make more money, don't they?
Well, they want to test it out first and then give it to us.
And consoles are the most popular platform. Listen, we all personally here prefer PC. Yeah. We do. We'll be PC gamers before anything else. But I have no problems from time to time playing my Switch or my PlayStation for various other reasons. They know what they're doing. So
I read an article where they said that console playing is actually not a major decline, but is declining.
Probably.
The sales are down. I've also heard people say that they're not overly excited about the new PlayStation. Some people are saying they don't think it's really even that necessary. So they're already thinking that sales may not be strong for it when it comes out. So I don't know.
Is it because they released one too soon from the previous launch from their, what was it, PS5 Slim or something that they did?
What, the last
a lot of people were saying too that when the new PlayStation comes out, they said they should have had some of the things that they're bringing out already the prior. Yeah. I feel like you're spending all this money and getting something that really should have been there anyway.
Fix the HDMI port.
They're saying they may announce the PS5 Pro soon. I hope they do, because it's going to be a nice, good boost, actually, to be fair. The last thing which ties into the game that Matt was going to talk about was the Fallout London stuff. I found this out in a news article. Then I actually posted something in the gaming channel and Discord about a BBC interview with the lead guy from Fallout London. And the Fallout London boys the devs are going to create their own indie studio, which is really bloody cool. I was really chuffed to hear that one. They have their own jobs normally day to day, but they were going to. They enjoyed it, obviously, even though it was stressful. And while the mod is non-for-profit, because you obviously can't make money from it, they were being donated money via Patreon, and they've just banked that. and they're going to use that then to start opening their own indie studio, which will be really cool because they've done such a good job. Like, I think within a day or two, a couple of days, there was like 500,000 downloads of Fallout London, which is absolutely batshit crazy. So, no, that's really, really good news. But yeah, Matt, that leads us on to, you've been playing this, Fallout 4 London. I know you're going to briefly talk about how it was to install it and then actual gameplay itself, in your opinion. But see, before you do that, can you touch on the install stuff? Because my understanding was, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you can buy this via Steam or you can buy this via GOG. And if you buy it via Steam, there's a bit of jiggery-pokery to get it working, because remember, this game was delayed for a little while because they brought out a revamped version of Fallout, which broke all Fallout London's coding, essentially, so they had to redo it. But the way they redone it, which was a bit sneaky, and I'm not really blaming them for this, I know they were maybe limited, was to make it work, all their progress, with the prior version of Fallout. I'm not a massive fan of having to go back. If you get it via GOG, I believe it's a bit more straightforward. But can you elaborate on this, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, in a sense, I mean, it kind of works because I've got the Steam version.
Right.
I think I ended up getting a code sent to me for one of the DLCs, but I put that in the chat because I already had everything. So if anybody grabbed that, well done, nice one. But the installation isn't too bad. It's not as hard as I thought it would be, or complicated. I mean, if I could do it, anyone can do it. I did go with a guide, which I got a YouTube thing there to the video as well, just to see whether I did right or I didn't. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, they do have for the down, because you have to, as you said, had to downgrade Fallout 4 on Steam, whatever versions you had. Through there, it did say you had to delete what files you had on Fallout 4, all of them, or you can actually just rename, add an extra file into Steam folder, copy your normal Fallout 4 into there. And then for the London one, just use that Fallout 4 Steam, which seems to work well. Okay. You have to download through console the commands to downgrade it.
Really?
I think it's not too bad. You just have to copy code. You can do it simultaneously, but then you have to wait anyways. And it wasn't too long for me. It really wasn't that long. So I kind of did the one by one just to make sure I was doing everything correctly. And then you had to do the same thing for all the DLCs that you had, minus the the 4K.
Yeah, am I right in saying, Matt, you need either the Game of the Year edition or all the DLCs for it to work? That's a thing, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, yeah. You can have it through GOG itself or Steam.
Okay.
There you go. I think Steam's pretty much GOG edition is still the same. But because the mod is on there, it kind of gives you less things to do.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So what I claimed I think on GOG I claimed the mod or something, or I signed up for it, Matt, but then it didn't kick off any install or anything. But I think I've then got it in my library against my profile, but nothing happened. So I'm assuming if I go and follow that guide, because I've already claimed it, I should be good, yeah?
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah. I've not had any problems with that bit. There are some parts of Fallout that you need to delete from the files in there. They're mainly creative stuff, workshop items that you have to manually go in and completely delete from the new file that you've created.
Right. Okay.
For the game. From there, go on.
How was the game? Like, how are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it?
At the beginning, I wasn't. I mean, I came across a few crashes, which will happen, and the things that were causing the crashes were the creative things that you had to delete, and I had to get rid of the weapons debris, which automatically it does that bit for you, which is nice. It doesn't like 4K on Ultra. Doesn't like it at the moment. Yeah, because your UI gets a bit ski-whiffy. And then videos that, the cutscenes kind of pop out as a extra monitor, or screen, I should say, which is a bit naff. So other than those crashes, once I've got them sorted out, it was okay. I was playing along. I found it a bit boring. Like, where the area I was playing at, with the jobs it was telling me to do, I'd go there. My kid, like, your ammo was very limited from day one, sort of thing.
Really?
You're very limited.
That isn't a Fallout thing, though. Like, that's
I know you can loot and go off and do things. So loot on that retrospect is a bit, yeah.
Okay.
So I was going to give up on it and go, I've done this, but I was getting there and I was like, no, I've got to give this game a fair chance. Come on now. So jumped back on, tried it a few goes, streamed a little bit of it. And I had a mission where I had to go on the other side of London, on the north side of the Thames.
So you jumped in the tube then, yeah?
No tubes. None of it works. There's no machines. Yeah, I think a lot of people were saying that they're upset that there's no, what do they call it, armor tech. The big guys.
What, the big suit?
Yeah.
Should there be, though? Like, that was in the Fallout 4, but maybe...
yeah. I mean, I don't think it needs it.
Nah.
It doesn't have the super mutants or anything like that, but it has the ghouls anyways. It has its own little beasties, which I think is fine for that type of game. I mean, London's kind of small anyway, isn't it? So kind of makes sense. Yeah, so I've been trying to get to the side of a mission that I was trying to get to, but everywhere I went, there was a massive wall or invisible barrier that I couldn't get across. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And I think my stream was just me tracing this barrier all around to see if there's another way in, which I couldn't find. I got fed up, so I put my character to sleep and I woke up on the other side. Because I got that, I got the perk of sleepwalking.
Oh,
so because of that, yeah. So I was like, this actually did its thing. So wow, okay, I'm on the other side. And of course, I got distracted again with other missions and things. So it's kind of good. I kind of like it. Yeah.
Well, Matt, bear in mind that, I don't know if you know this, the devs in that BBC interview also said that they knew there were some bugs there. There was always going to be bugs. There's probably less bugs than if Bethesda were to put a game out. So that's testament to those guys, to be fair. But he joked about if this game, like this is going to have bugs. A Bethesda game normally has bugs, so it's par for the course. But he said
the same thing,
he'll iron them out. And someone left their team over the last little while. So he said there is more content to come for it. That they're releasing in a big patch. Either it's already out or it's about to come out. So it'll be bit by bit. Is that anything to do with the barrier that you couldn't get past, maybe?
It might do. All I can say is that they had to do a few cuts to get this mod released for that we have for the full game.
Right.
So they are going to put out in the game, and it's going to bring another end game mission scenario as well. So that's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be fun. But I've got to say, Team Fallon, who they are, absolutely fantastic. I've got them on Discord, and I've been like messaging them now and then, sending them my dump files. And I tell you what, their help and support is straight away.
Oh, good.
They support you and everybody. You just drop in your dump files, crash files into them, and they'll go, try this. Or this is how this thing gets fixed. So yeah, they've been absolutely fantastic team. I've not seen any team that are like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really full on, really helping the community with the game.
So
mod. Sorry,
I want your exactly, but it's as big as Fallout 4 on its own with the DLCs included. That's how big it is. So, I think what these guys are doing is amazing because they're not charging a penny for it. Well, they can't anyway, technically, but I think what they're doing is fantastic. Would you What's your thoughts on, Matt, on Bethesda not even acknowledging it? Because he was asked about that in the BBC interview, and he said, no, we've not heard a peep. And he seemed a little bit disappointed. He wasn't asking for anything miraculous. It was just in the past, like Paradox Games, Paradox Studios, in the past when people have brought out mods to their games, they've actually went on Twitter and went, sorry, X, and went, listen, you should check out what our fans have been doing recently. It was really cool. And that's a nice thing to do. I just get a funny feeling Bethesda are sitting with a thumb up their arse. I just get that funny feeling, you know, because while they make great games, they're usually very janky and it takes so long to come out. So these devs, they're technically amateurs because they're not in a professional studio yet. They've went and done just as good a job as Fallout 4, if not better, than the pros. And they feel, I think they feel a bit like, screw you kind of guy. You know, do you think that's a bit harsh? Like, Bethesda didn't even reach out and went, nice job, guys.
I think they should see what these guys are doing, because it's the modders. These people are actually bringing stuff to the game to make it playable, to give extra resources, scenarios. It brings so much more. I think Bethesda are kicking themselves in the arses, I have to say that, if they're not going to acknowledge what's going on here, because you know what, they've got a free ticket right there looking at them in their face. You know, all it needs is a thank you, or you know what, we'll give you a little they make a lot of money, you know, let's not kid about. They make a lot of money. A little few pennies into Team Top Fallen's hands would be nice. Yeah, you know, I think it's well deserved. They've done a great job.
Can you imagine, Matt, if Bethesda went, listen, we would like to make this mod officially part of Fallout 4 or its own standalone game. How about we talk and we divide the profits or something, like whoever gets more or whatever, I don't really care. But I think that would be fair, because you should be really utilizing a resource like that, unless you're too proud.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, there's something else that they could do that they did for Starfield, if I remember correctly. They put out a mod kit for Starfield so that the modders could more easily, you know, make the mods for Starfield. So what's the big deal about making a mod kit for Fallout 4? If they made a mod kit, an official mod kit, it would make things easier on these guys that did Fallout London, as well as other people that want to do mods, but they haven't even made the attempt. And I'm kind of like, dude, you got a television program out there. The other thing is, why would you not want to capitalize on the publicity? Now, it's true they're getting some publicity anyway because, well, the name is Fallout, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about. They could be embracing this whole thing, even helping them a little bit, like we're saying, and the publicity you get off of that would be great for them. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, why would you pass up an opportunity for good publicity by just sitting there and ignoring it? Practically, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. You know, and I'm waiting to think maybe they're going to make a turnaround and embrace it soon or something. You know, because people have been saying stuff like this, and yet they still haven't done anything.
Yeah, they might do. Maybe they're adding things up together, and it's taking them a little longer because they're trying to find the chest with all their stuff in there, and they've lost their way. But I've known, what's it? There's other companies. What's it? Behem. Who was it now? Behem Interactive. That do Arma 3.
Yeah.
They say which I love.
And they own DayZ now, technically, now that Dean Hall's buggered off.
I mean, so they kind of that team actually did jump on Dean Hall and went, you know what, we'll give you...
They backed him. They actually gave him money.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, fair dues, it's a game that
he worked with them. He worked with them, to be fair, Matt, where these guys don't. But, I mean, your point's still valid, isn't it?
Yeah, but he didn't at the beginning, did he?
True.
The mod that he left for people on Arma 2 in them days. There you go. There you go. So maybe it's just a waiting game.
If you think about it too, why wouldn't they just come to them, you know, the guys that file London, and say, look, we'll make a deal with you. Why don't you sell your mod? You know, you sell it for, you know, cheap, $10, $15, whatever, something like that. As long as we can make, you know, 25% profit off your mod, we'll help you. What's so hard about that?
Yeah,
they
you
can
get
make free
loyalty.
money.
It's pride, mate. It's pride, Gray.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You could make money, and they could make money, and everyone's happy.
Absolutely, and they can build on it as well. They can build on this franchise of London thing.
Or what may be the case is, of course, on top of Pride, that we know Fallout 5 is going to be a thing, right? We don't know if Bethesda will make it or it'll be ported out elsewhere. Microsoft will make the decision on that one, right? Hey, Scythe. All right, man. Scythe popped into the chat. Maybe they're a bit peeved because their original plan for Fallout 5 was actually to set it in London, and now they're fecking raging because they have to then put it somewhere else.
In somebody's scrapyard book.
There hasn't been a Fallout game outside America. I was going to say North America, but did they ever go into Canada? I don't think they did. So just America. So it's a no-brainer to take it somewhere else in the world and let them see it. And London is a massive place in the world. It really is, regardless. So it makes sense to have it somewhere in Europe. And it probably one of the biggest destinations in Europe to actually have it is London or the UK in general. It's what are you able to tell us, without spoiling it, Matt, a little bit about the story? Like, is it its own whole separate story arc? Does it tie in with Fallout 4? What do you know? What can you tell us?
No, it's its own story arc. It's definitely got its own. It's got the same mechanics, but it has its own quests, items, environmental storytelling,
right?
And quests that so you have to. Oh yeah, it's different. You can see it's different sort of thing, even from the Pip-Boy sort of thing. Where
the Pip-Boy looks cool.
It's awesome. It's just it's on your utility belt.
Looks like an old-fashioned bloody 70s style iPad
cassette
or something.
Thing. Yeah, cassette player.
A cassette player, yeah.
Walkman. There we go.
What can you tell us about the story then that you know so far that doesn't spoil it, or do you only know a little bit so far?
All I know is that it's post-apocalyptic.
I struggle to say that as well.
There was a bit of a war going on, and things went to pot. And then the people that survived, there were like 4 main gang factions that managed to survive and own certain areas of London. And pretty much was to go about and do what you need to do. Get through the story.
What Fallout shelter were you in? How many Fallout shelters are there? Do you know that?
1.
There's one for the whole of London.
There's only one that I know of. Yeah.
London's like 9 million people, man. 1.
So no, there's a lot
of people vaporized.
Fallout shelters. Yeah, it's you were found in a lab. You were.
No, it wasn't a test tube, baby. Not again. Not this joke.
Test tube. Yeah. Yeah, and others managed to survive through the underground system. That was their shelter.
Okay.
There we go.
I mean, the tube is massive.
Sorry. I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know if one of the factions was called Geezers. I mean, that would just be great.
Yeah, no.
That's just like saying. That's just like saying dude. Yeah. Come on, that's like saying dude. It's just geezer or mate or
chavs. The chavs.
No, chavs and geezers are not the same. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Were any of the creatures dressed up like the Queen's Guard? You know, with a big hat.
No.
King's Guard.
No.
She gone.
Yeah.
She gone.
Yeah.
Beef eaters, right?
Beef eaters, guys. Not that I've seen. They're all wearing Peaky Blinders outfits, pretty much.
Are they not wearing those big? Are they not wearing those big, like the cars, those big furry helmets? Speaking of helmets, actually, by the way, I can see your shiny helmet in the background, Matt. You really need to stop getting your helmet out and stream. Look, it's black helmet here, and it's the Star Wars mask thing. Get your minds out the gutter, people. It's the Star Wars
Trooper. Mask. That's got to be changed to Rex. Or
considering the way the helmet looks and the red felt, it almost looks like he's the Sith Lord, but he's really short and he's going to come and get you.
Why can we only see that and nothing else? Is it because it's black?
Yeah, it's because Darth Vader commands.
Oh, okay.
Confusing.
He's the boss. You can't. Yeah, even if I go there, it's like, no, I am your.
Why if you blurred your background anyway? You normally keep a tidy living room, Matt.
I kind of do, but
is there a couple of dead bodies or something there, man?
There's a couple of
things, people,
there's
situations.
Yeah.
Well, no more questions, please. No more questions.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a puddle. There you go.
By the way, I want to mention one thing we haven't said. And God
I'm just hiding my work stuff over there, so that's why.
Okay.
There we go.
On the Fallout London release, I wanted to mention that GOG said that was downloaded more than 500,000 times in 24 hours.
Yeah, a day or two. I knew it was that. That's mental.
Holy smoke! I'm sitting there like, you know that these guys that did the mod are out there going like, man.
Can I just say how super impressive that is, considering it's not an easy one click and it's installed like a game. You have to do a bit of jiggery pokery, and if you're a complete novice in PC, you might struggle unless you're following the videos, and even then. So even with all that in place, that is hugely impressive. I wonder what the figure is now. That's mental.
They also said that apparently it is now the fastest downloaded game of all time on their store.
It is.
You think about it. That's only a DLC.
Whoa.
Not even a DLC. It's a mod.
Greg, we'll go step back up for a moment. That is the biggest game downloaded on GOG of all time, and that includes Cyberpunk and full-blown games, and this is just a mod. Really? Yep. Holy shit.
It's the biggest one.
Within
24 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and that's a mod. It's not even an official DLC.
That you tell them, Bethesda, wake up.
Well, it did. Yeah. This is why they're going to do their own indie studio, Team Fallon or whatever they're called, which would be bloody amazing. I'd love to see what they can do. If they can make this mod is is like I said, the size of Fallout 4 and the two main DLCs all rolled into one, which makes it huge. If they can do that as a full-time job, bear in mind they made this since they started this, I think, 2020, give or take a year or so, and they do that on top of their main jobs. Yeah. And they get it out quicker than Bethesda, who have got hundreds of people, you know? And yes, they had 2 years where they were doing it during COVID, like a lot of the time. But I mean, listen, Bethesda, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. I do love your games, but come on, man, you're professionals. You need to pull the finger out and look. It is 100% pride, boys. That is why they're not saying anything to these guys. I'm telling you right now, they are embarrassed. They're ashamed. They don't want to admit it's good.
I think the first game they should come out with Team Fallen is Fall In, and just kind of like go against Fallout. Just get Fall In.
That'll be in court.
Be your own thing.
That'll be a lawsuit.
That's it.
They'll have a ball from the sky instead of on the ground. You know.
Yeah, you know what's so good about this as well with this mod? It supports mods.
Hey, this mod supports mods. This mod. What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's mods in the mod.
How does that work?
I didn't even think you could do that. That's pretty cool.
So there's on their Discord, there's mods part, and people are just putting in what mods they've got, what they created for it.
So they're sharing the source code and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow,
they're very much pro with it. There's a lot of good ones, including knight's armor, weapons, skins.
Wow.
The big head fellas. Yeah. That was good stuff. There is one mod that stirred up a lot of upsetting.
Okay.
Anger. Yeah. And it's a soccer ball by Grumpy Old Nord. So his idea is any references to football. This mod has changed that to soccer to make it easier for Americans to understand. And a lot of football fans are livid. They are absolutely livid and unhappy with it.
Look, I live in the States and I get we call it soccer, but if 3/4 of the world call it football, why would they change
more than 3/4? 95%.
Californians.
Great, do me a favor on behalf of America. Would you turn round, drop your shorts and your pants, and then we'll just kiss America's bum cheek? Go, just do it now. Go. It's fine. We'll kick it off Twitch. It's worth it.
Yeah. Do that. Come on.
Yeah, but it's not even economic. It's the fact
he's
that
very white front.
Why would you do that? I mean,
or nothing.
It's not necessary.
I know. Yeah.
It's a silly thing. Listen, I get it. Yeah. America's a big deal in the world. I get it. There's a lot of people there. But Gray's got a point. Like, Gray and I we joke with each other all the time about US English versus American English, right? And I will purposely use
Just go Irish.
British English. There's that as well. British English were great, and he'll use US. And we know each other. We know each other's words by now, you know. So if I say football to him, he knows what I'm talking about, and vice versa. It's just, oh man, don't get me started. That'll be a rant.
In fact, so I don't get it confused. I constantly refer to
NFL
football as the NFL because that's the main, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll just go NFL, and then everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't have to say football. I just go NFL.
I don't see many US people being that confused, to be honest.
No.
I know a lot of Americans. They talk about football.
Look, it's the same with the metric system.
Yeah.
We tried to adopt it here more than once, and everybody went, "Nah, we like our inches and you know."
Great. The interesting thing, my man, about the whole metric system versus Imperial is like I kind of get it why you guys wouldn't change it, but the amount of money, the amount of money that would take to actually change everything in education and signposts, just like if we were to change from miles per hour into kilometers, it's a bit of a mess to do, man. But then your kids at school have to learn it if they do sciences, because science is an international thing, and you have to know. It's same with PCs. You'll notice that as well. Stevie from Gamers Nexus, Linus, okay, he's Canadian, but he deals with Americans a lot. They will do PC temperatures and stuff. They'll talk about Celsius all the time because that's what the world understands. But you do you, I guess. You know.
I know. We just prefer both.
Well, yeah. This is weird. I can understand both kind of. The UK is weird, like Canada. Like we do both. Like we're miles per hour on the roads, but for everything else, almost we are metric. I understand kind of both. It's weird.
That's also like when they talk about horsepower. Horsepower is the same all around the world. Everybody knows what horsepower is.
Yeah.
But in reality, it could be called other things, but everybody knows what that means. So they
makes sense.
Keep it alone.
That was the first mode of transport. See, before we move on really quickly to your news, great. I found this really interesting. Well, Matt might find this interesting as well. That there was a couple of there's several famous people that do voices for free or really cheap in Fallout London, and one of them is the Speaker of the House, which is the UK Parliament Speaker. You know, the guy that's order, and they always pick someone to be it, right? It's a whole ceremony where they literally drag him out of the chamber, drag him back in, kind of like a ruffian. It's funny, like the parliamentary rules are ridiculous. Like you're not allowed to die in Parliament; it's against the law. They've never changed that. I kid you not.
Wait, back up. You're not allowed to what?
You're not allowed to die in the Houses of Parliament. It's against the law.
They'll drag you off to die in the backyard.
God forbid the guy has a heart attack and dies. Where they say, like,
grab him.
Really die.
They'll come after your family. They'll take them out.
Much better.
I know, it's ridiculous. There's loads of them. But the guys from Fallout literally approached the Speaker of the House because they wanted his unique voice in the game. And his name's called John Bercow, I think that's how you pronounce it. And he initially was like, are you taking the piss? Like, is this some kind of publicity thing? Or am I having to pay money? Or are you paying me money? And they explained what it was about. I think he's done it for free. And he actually, once he explained it, he was like, actually, you want to know something? I'm up for that. This sounds like fun. They've also got, I think we discussed this last time, one of the Doctor Who's in it as well. Did I say Colin Baker? I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you said, I think you said, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, Colin Baker, yeah. And there's other people as well. They're two names I've got off the top of my head. I think that's bloody amazing. I
found the box.
You what?
I found the box.
You found a book?
Box. Yeah, you found that is
the box.
A box? Okay, I'm confused.
I'm losing it somewhere. I'm not.
You know when we talked last time, we mentioned what's the telephone booth? You know they're gonna have quite a few ones, and you were like, "Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if they actually did a blue one?"
Oh, yeah, the TARDIS. Yeah. So there's a TARDIS in it. Yes, get in. Because they would have modelled that, but that's kind of probably got old London elements in the game. And those Doctor Who modelled it on the original blue police boxes, and it upgraded itself over time. But that's cool, man. I'm liking that.
Because I don't know as much about Who as you do, but on Doctor Who, was the TARDIS always one color, or did it change over time?
Right. So the short version is they modeled it on that for obvious reasons because they didn't have the technology, the budget, or anything, much like early Star Trek, to be changing what it looked like on a regular basis. In theory, the TARDIS, you should be able to, it's got a thing called a chameleon circuit on it, which means it will adapt its local environment to a random shape. So like the bad guy, the master, would always have a working TARDIS and it would blend in with whatever. So he would literally get into a mirror around a column and it would disappear. But in this, they just said that the chameleon circuit was broken. And then after a while, no one talked about it anymore. And then someone was like, why is it that sticks out like a sore thumb now? Like, it's modern time. It's like 2010 or something. People recognize that. And he's like, well, I didn't want to fix it anymore. Like, I know how to fix it, but I like it. Plus, there was some kind of perception filter thing, which is, you can ignore it. You know it's there, but you're like, nah, I don't really give a monkeys about it. So sorry for those that that's nothing to do with gaming, but we've gone tangents.
Yeah, like, you know, you could have anything. You put it in the red light district somewhere.
he could fix it, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fix it. So and I've been in it. I've been in the TARDIS, the actual OG TARDIS, which is really cool. Really disappointed that it's just a box.
Yeah.
Just a box?
Yeah,
that's okay.
So he's saying.
I went for a run, doink. Okay, right. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so that's me from Iron Grey. Sorry to interrupt. It's you.
Yeah, that's fine. I asked the question. We did a tangent. We always do that. That's cool.
That's it.
No problem.
Yeah.
So, ready for some game news?
I'm always ready for gaming news.
Go for it.
All right. First announcement is Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out. Not really. I just thought I'd say that.
Come out. Yeah.
It'll come out some century.
I don't care anymore.
We weren't that short of content either, guys. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad joke or something.
Now we'll get into the next story. So apparently, Valve, as you know, Steam, whatever, has been working on a new game that.
Sorry.
What?
Whoa! Stop!
What?
Whoa!
What?
Hold it! Whoa!
Okay.
Fallout London. It's also got Linux and Steam Deck support. All right, you can go now.
Oh, yeah, that is important. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Sorry. You guys are still included.
So everybody's always, when Valve says they're going to make a game, everybody always gets a little excited and they go like, because they only make games every few years. So when they made an announcement that they're working on the game, everybody immediately thinks Half-Life 3. No, it's not Half-Life 3, but apparently they announced a game that is being played by some testers right now called Deadlock. This is a whole new game that Valve has created. And all they can say is it's a cross between Overwatch, Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, all in one, which kind of sounds cool. I mean, I'm a little surprised. I think that Valve would choose this type of a game. But from what I'm hearing by the testers that are playing it and stuff, they're saying it's pretty good. And they're trying to overcome some of the things that you don't like about the other games. And get rid of that in this new one. There's not a lot known about it. I've tried to get into play the game, but the problem is that you can only be invited to play Deadlock. So basically what they said is try to go on the social medias for Deadlock and see if someone will invite you. Well, I tried that, but the problem is there's thousands of people asking to be invited. So I have no idea if I'm going to get an invitation. But I did try, so I don't know if it'll end up happening. I have no clue. So I'm really curious to see, what this game is. There's not a lot really out there visually to see. But if Valve's behind it and they waited this many years and they're claiming it's different than the typical, I mean, it might be good. I mean, there are some screenshots and stuff that are out there you can see. They're very careful, though, because I think some of the people are pretty much under NDAs and whatnot. And in fact, the article that I was kind of reading was supposedly not supposed to be printed or out there.
Oh dear!
But it got out there anyway, and I heard something about Valve was gonna try to get the article removed, and then they decided, the heck with it. And so the article is out there, but I'm curious about this game. It looks interesting. The shots that I've seen, the screenshots look pretty good, and I don't know. What do you guys think of a game like this? I mean,
is it a PvP? sort of shooter thing, or
yeah. I mean, I'm not big on PvP, but some of the things that I did read sounded like it was more of a team effort than some of these other games are.
Yeah.
Some of the other games that claim their team effort, I don't know. Everybody's kind of out for themselves, either way. So if that's true, then maybe it might be something, a little different. But I don't see anything that's talking about PvE. I don't know whether they're going to have a portion of the game that might be a PvE thing. There's so little news on it; it's hard to really say. There's no news until when it's going to come out. No date on even an early access or anything like that. So we're just kind of have to sit and wait and see what goes on. The article was funny when I was reading it. The guy updated it and says that the Valve was not fine with me trying Deadlock with friends. He says he's been banned from matchmaking.
Oh.
So
Silly.
there you go.
Valve take no prisoners, man. You do not mess with them. I don't think this has anything to do with the Half-Life 3, by the way. Rumored Half-Life 3 White Sands. I hope not.
We keep on hearing the rumors about that, and I guess the rumors are starting to get a little stronger as far as Half-Life 3 goes. But I hope it does come out.
I doubt we'll ever see it, Gray. We've been hearing them for years. I think we'll continue hearing them.
Skyrim 6.
They don't have to. They don't have to. They make so much money, Valve, from Steam that they don't have to. They do it as a passion project when they want to. Much like the perfect idea for a game, then they'll go and make the game. But I don't think we'll see it. I would kill like you and everyone else to see that, because my two favorite franchises of all time in video gaming, and not in any particular, in fact, in particular order, this one edges it, are Doom first and then Half-Life. They're the two biggest franchises I love the most. I was so excited to play Half-Life, Alex. I really, really enjoyed it as well. And that was just a tease to what could be. So
I gotta check it out, but I thought they created a mod for Half-Life Alyx that turns it into a non-VR game.
They do.
If
I don't know how good
it is. I might look into it, because I was always mad I couldn't play it because I didn't want to invest in the whole thing with VR. But if that's the case, I might look into it, because then at least I know I can try it. I don't know. I guess we'll see. So anyway, look for Deadlock that Valve doesn't even want to admit it actually exists. I'm being serious about that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
In any case, another game that just came out on PC Game Pass literally 2 days ago was Mafia Definitive Edition. I took a look at this because when the game first came out, it came out, I think, in PlayStation 3 years ago or something, or whatever it was, or Xbox. And this game has been revamped and remastered, if you want to call it that, for PC. Many people have said that this particular edition was probably the better in the series. So I think that sounds pretty cool. I am going to try to jump into that game, see what it's about, and I'll report back here. I don't know if you guys ever played that game or similar.
Yeah, I played them all.
No.
I think the recent one, 3, I had problems with. I think I had the 2080 then, and it would not run properly. It would, the graphics were all over the place. It kept crashing, freezing. Nothing would load properly into it, so I stopped playing it for quite a long while.
Oh, they're coming for you, Matt. They're coming for you.
They are. They're going to come out the doors and come at me now.
Well, from what I've seen, the gameplay that I've seen, it looks really pretty. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, there was scenes of the old cars in the 30s and 40s and the city blocks and so forth that looked like it was torn right out of the Godfather movie. And I'm looking at this going like, wow, that's pretty nice. So I'm kind of hoping that the game is reflective of what I'm seeing. But I'm definitely going to try it out. If I'm going to jump into this, I would rather jump into this version of it. So If you do have Game Pass, obviously it's free, so to speak, because you're on Game Pass, which I think a lot of us here are. So I would give it a try, and I'll report back to tell you what I think about it once I do try it.
Okay.
The next piece that we can all chime in on is we've been playing a lot of Once Human. The game is free. Still can't believe it's free, but it's free. And they're dropping a massive update of something like, how many gigs did you hear it was? 13 or 14?
12 something. And that's the joke I made to Matt. That was the 12 plus gig download on Steam But how big of an update was then once you loaded the game up and Matt went, he's not experienced anything? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I may have talked to Sue because Susie said that. And I closed down the game. It came up with another update on Steam. Quick patch, that one was, though. So I don't know.
So another quick patch on Steam, and then once you load up the game after, there may be another. They're taking the piss now.
Yeah.
We will probably be playing that next week and Wednesday, by the way. If you guys want to come along to our first gaming stream in a long while, we'll probably be playing that. So
I think despite those issues, and there's a couple, I at first I wasn't so sure about the game, but now that I've been playing it a bunch more, I'm really liking the game. And I'm very impressed that this is still free. It's early access, but free. They're doing a lot of content, and this thing is like huge. Now all of a sudden we're going to get all these new features that I never heard of before. And if you do play Once Human out there, they're putting in new animal ranching.
Yeah.
So apparently you can capture animals, raise animals. You can use them for food or whatever.
Farming simulator. Woohoo!
I guess within the game, right?
Yeah.
But they said that every animal is going to have a different habit or a characteristic. So that means that when you build a housing portion for the animal, it has to be the proper one.
Yeah.
So obviously there's going to be more building elements as far as that part goes. The thing I thought was pretty cool, though, is you can also raise the animals that are more of aggressive type and have them defend your territory. Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool because imagine if you sit there and have like a bunch of, I don't know, wolves or something that you train to eat deviants that are trying to, raid your base. Now you can sit there and shoot them with your own weapons, and you have a whole pack of wolves going after them. I think that's pretty cool.
It is brilliant.
I want one of those. I want one of those rabbits from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Just jump at them and saw their head off with their teeth.
So any animal can like guard your territory, so you can get like you could send all your pussycats after you, like just want to meow you to death. Yeah.
Well, it didn't say any animal. It just said that the ones that are
the vicious
kind of
ones,
aggressive, you can sit there and make them,
the little shits, basically.
So,
non-deviant style ones.
Yeah, whatever that means. Well, maybe you can make like a bunch of cute little puppies, and it'll just like, and the enemy will just go,
lick you to death,
and then you shoot them, because they're standing still.
That's it. Yeah.
This is the next thing they're going to do, which I've heard a lot about, is that everybody's complaining how you can't fish in the game. They have the water.
You can.
Are you watching, comic? Are you watching? You hear that?
Yeah, there you go. And they're totally revamping this. They said that they've gotten tons of feedback on what's going on with it and whether it works or doesn't work, which is mostly doesn't work, apparently. Go ahead.
Fishing does work, but you have to be at specific places and you have to hold down.
What, the water?
Yeah. Stay there, water. I'm trying to fish here, mate. You mind?
Sorry.
Yeah. So you get like this green circle that you have to place while you're holding down the button. So you can't just go flump, and then you be able to fish.
What's the sound effect again, Matt? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you changed it. It was flung, I think.
Swish. Okay, there you go. That's like a fly fishing, right? Fly fishing.
Great,
like this.
Great. Your job was your old job, which you'll need to keep doing, which was take down clips, note clip time. Right. So there you go. You got that. So.
See that? It's already there.
This will be part of our new situation, wherever side going forward. Sorry, Matt, carry
situation on. Comedy? What?
Yeah.
Yes.
But they improved it a lot. They have improved it a lot and added extra fishes. Sorry, carry on.
Well, from what I'm seeing here, it says the waiting time has been reduced. They've increased the number of fish. Also, how many fish can be put in a tank? I didn't even know you could have a fish tank.
I've got a fish tank.
I didn't know that until I started reading this. I'm like, what? So you can build a fish tank and have more fish in it.
Matt, I've been in your house, and that was a couple of weeks ago in the game, and it was already like Animal Farm in there. It was like Dr. Doolittle's lab in there, and that was just 2-3 weeks ago. So God only knows what it's like now.
Fish everywhere. Everything's everywhere.
The thing I like about how they describe the fishing, though, is very much like when you really fish. Because they were saying that it's a test between your stamina and the fish's energy. Well, that's exactly what real fishing is all about.
Yeah, you got to counteract and you have to. Yeah. Unreal.
So they're sitting there going like you have to keep tension on the fishing line. They said in the game. And if the fish, goes, tries to get away, you got to try to pull him back in, vice versa. So they said if the fish runs out of energy before you do, you caught a fish.
Good chance you got it. Yeah.
And they're even including now small fish that you can use as bait. So now you have to think about it. If you're a fisherman, you have a smaller bait or live bait to get a bigger fish or whatever. So now you have to start thinking about stuff like this. But I thought that was kind of neat because most fishing in a lot of games is like, yeah, throw your rod in there, fish comes along, you get it. This one, you actually have to think like a fisherman and act like a fisherman to be able to catch the fish. And they're putting a whole bunch of fish in here. Northern pike, sunfish, rainbow trout, suckerfish, Oscarfish, pompano, barracuda, koi fish. The list goes on.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm absolutely Hank Marvin now. I want to go down the chippy and get a fish and chips now.
I've already ordered
a battered haddock and chips. No, hold the sauce. Oh man, you're making me hungry now, man.
Mushy peas.
Oh, and a couple of those silver skin pickled onions.
Pickled onions. Yeah.
And of course, all the food in the game gives you some kind of boost. I can imagine when you start cooking up all these different fish.
Plus 10 fish. Plus 10 fish. I'm just thinking of the cat from Red Dwarf. The little machine, the vending machine's asking what he wants, and he goes, fish! And then it goes, would you like to make your order again? Fish! And this goes on for about 10 times. And then afterwards, he's like, oh, I've eaten too much fish.
Ate too much fish.
Curry sauce?
Well, one of the things just talking about fish.
Old school curry sauce, yes. But if it's that light, greedy, lumpy pile of trash, you can keep that shite. That's not lumpy. Curry sauce.
What fish is lumpy?
No, not fish curry.
Curry sauce. It's poorly made curry sauce.
Okay. I just want to make sure we were talking about lumpy fish here. I was like,
yeah, I'm sure you get lumpfish. Lumpfish. There you go.
Anyway,
I call it a new deviant fishing.
Another thing they're coming to the game is new wilderness game modes.
Yeah.
So apparently there's going to be a Sproutlet conquest. They're going to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4:20 p.m. server time. They're going to be doing this. Locations are going to be random. There's going to be a specific amount of rules in this thing, so it's almost going to be like a contest, apparently. Another thing called Ancient One's Trial. I haven't gone far enough in the game to know what this is, but apparently it says people have reported seeing the Ancient One around Chalk Peak, and they said that the trials are now going to be set up so that you can go through these things to face these trials. So I'm like, okay. They're doing a mod conversion. It's going to unlock at level 40.
Yeah, so you can upgrade them or change your mods that you have for your weapons, armor, stuff. So instead of just enhancing, you can change.
Here's another interesting thing. They do enough with the crafting system now, but it says here you're going to be able to convert 6 unenhanced legendary mods into legendary mods with the main attribute of your choice. So you're going to be able to play now a little bit of making the mods fit better to what you want as opposed to just grabbing any old mod, and putting it on. So I think that's pretty cool if you can sit there and make it converted mods are calling it. So you'll be able to make it the way you want. For those that use controller, they're really serious about controller support. So apparently there's going to be a whole thing where you're going to be able to use your controller much easier. And then they had a thing called cross-character sharing for paid content. I'm not sure what that means. It says cross-character sharing for paid content
Battle Pass
is now officially available.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So paid cosmetics and premium currencies such as Christian, whatever, can be shared by all characters under the same account in the same region. Okay. So I guess some of the paid elements are starting to come in now where we weren't really seeing it before.
Which is fine. Which is fine. We don't mind this, do we?
Yeah. No.
It's not pay to win, so
no.
Here's something that might be good that people were complaining about. It said before, special invitation codes are now available. If a server is full, players already on the server can find their own special invitation code on their player info screen, which can be accessed via the menu. They can share the special invitation code with their friends. Friends who receive the special invitation code can use it to enter the server, even if it's full.
So we can get Glutzy in. Can we get Glutzy in then? Would that work?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes, Glutzy, you watching? You're in.
Our server is not full. It's low at the moment. So it's a very good chance that he can just go and click in.
Yeah, but then he's back to his original problem. He would need to start up again unless I missed a point where you could transfer your shit to another server.
Possibly same thing. I could.
Well,
on it.
we know the blueprints are saved, so you might have to build his base. It would maybe be the equivalent of going from, they don't call it a season, what do they call it?
Scenario.
Yeah.
So it'd be the same as going from one scenario to another, whereas everything's wiped like Rust, like games like that. But in this situation, you keep your blueprint. So if Glutzy moved from a North American server to a European server, maybe it'd be the same.
Might be the same. It's a good chance to try it out. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
That's very true.
But you only get that code if the server's full, but it is still limited by the amounts of whatever their maximum capacity is. So if it is maximum capacity for the server itself completely, then they'll still have issues even with code. But you'll only get that code when and if server is full. Because I couldn't find the code at all. They are. They're getting it.
If we can get glutes in, then we're good.
Yeah.
I hope so.
They're introducing changing of seasons for the first time. So apparently in some, it doesn't say all servers though. It only says some servers. So I'm not sure what that means. But
our server hasn't gone through it. I've entered it today, and it still looks the same. It didn't come up with any options or anything. It just says play. So yeah.
I mean, I think I'm going to enjoy that because that's the only thing we don't see. We haven't seen rain. We haven't seen wind.
That type of season.
Yeah. So if they're introducing that, then that's cool.
Yeah.
We should have all kinds of seasons. We should have hail. Go outside and you start getting pelted by hail.
Or you get all the seasons in one day or one afternoon, which you potentially can get in my country, certainly. Like all of them one day, and you're like, yeah, hold my beer.
Or it could be like 4 seasons and everyone changes each hour. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
This is very, very true.
Right, so I think that's
not talking about the band or anything there.
Now the other thing they introduced, which is wow, we can't go into everything here, but there's
a shit ton. There's a shit ton of stuff in this page, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
there's a
they
lot.
To their credit, they made up some screenshots, several of them showing like a process and what's going to happen, etc. Yeah. Which really does help a lot when you're looking at what they're going to have. So they basically talk about characters, and they go into it and says what you're going to get, and they tell you yes or no if it's going to happen or whatever. So I thought that was pretty neat. You can look at some of these and understand what's going to happen when the scenario changes and what you're going to be able to take with you quite explicitly on here, so you can feel better about it. We talked about it before, but this is really in detail as to what's going to happen. So I got to give credit to the devs. I mean, not only are they doing a lot of content and everything, but they've been really good with the fans. I mean, they've counting the quick fixes, they put in I think 20 already. 20 updates, and I mean, and it really hasn't been that long that we've been playing the game, so they're really staying on top of all this. What else are you gonna get? They're gonna get some. Oh, they have a new it says there's some new loot crates are coming in. Also, some new vehicles are coming in. They show a picture of man, this looks right out of Ghost Rider from Marvel. The guy's on a motorcycle and his tires are made out of fire, and he's got some kind of
yeah.
Chain thing or whatever. I'm going, okay. So, so you can probably just go ahead and Google it and you'll come up with the different things. But they're doing a lot of optimizations and everything. I mean, it's a long list of stuff. So
Fair
we
play.
can't wait till that.
Yeah, it's another team that's on it. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah, well, it's all this for a free game. Yes, it's not perfect, but no one expects it to be.
What they say, concurrent players, I think they were up to 200,000.
Wow.
Or something.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, just over 200,000. Okay.
Might even be more than that. So if they stay at this game will go on for quite a while. And I know we're liking it. We're going to always keep floating back to it.
Yeah.
I know they're going to have to compete with some big games coming in because you get Star Wars Outlaws at the end of the month. You have Assassin's Creed Shadows coming in November. Those are 2 games I'm playing a bunch of. So.
But it's free, Gray. That's the thing. That's what it's always got on its side.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So that'll be always the appeal. So I can understand that.
It's so in depth as well. I've only just recently found out how in depth it is. We're building your characters to have certain builds, either fire, pulse. Is it pulse? And ballistic as well. And you can grow your characters and those parts. It's amazing. I was just playing the game and I'm just shocked of hearing this, and I'm just like, wow, I need to start.
It reminds me a lot of Division 2 because I played a lot of Division 2, and it's very similar because there's different things you can do and how you can craft your builds and all kinds of other parameters that you can set up and do, levels, everything. So it's like almost taking like a lot of that and putting it into their game. At first, for people that are listening out there, don't feel like it's going to be daunting that you can't play it. Yes, there's a lot involved to it, but they're easy with you, so to speak, in some areas, so that you can learn these things.
Yeah.
And I'm having a lot of fun, and I think I've only scratched the surface. I've only played 25, 30 hours. There's people that are already up to 200, 300 hours.
Matt's one of them.
And I'm still scratching the surface.
As long as you don't scratch yourself, that's
Yeah.
How many hours have you got in it, Matt? You could tell from Steam. It tells you on your. I've got it set up in my library so that I can see.
Well, if I'm 25 or 30, you must be what, 70, Matt? 80?
I haven't played much. I'll be honest with you. Matt, oh god, it'll be way down. It'll be way up high for you though, Matt. Because for me, it's. Oh, there you go. I'm 7 hours. I'm pathetic.
Yeah, you are pathetic.
Call yourself a gamer. Here we go, mate.
I was loving. I was
72.9 hours.
There you go.
Yeah,
I was loving Destiny, man.
I think maybe what we'll do, guys, is I was going to talk about some of the coming games, but I don't necessarily have to cover that now. We probably could get into the tech news.
To be honest, you, Gray, don't be the time. We've still got 40 minutes.
Maybe.
40, no, because remember it was 20-minute timer. So 220. So we actually have 40 minutes potentially.
We got things to mention.
It's up to you, mate. It's up to you.
Do it.
No, that's fine. That's good. So there's a bunch of games coming to Xbox next this week, actually. Some have already come out. I'm not going to go through all of them, but what I was able to find that I couldn't find before was instead of just having a name, now I can actually there's a little bit of a description behind some of these games that are coming. So that's kind of neat. Let's see. The games that have already coming out has been Hidden Through Time 2. Which is called Discovery. It's a hidden object game that has you search for hidden objects in hand-drawn interactive landscapes. Pizza Bar Tycoon, right?
Hey.
Simulators for everything.
Yeah.
So it says Pizzeria will soon become the talk of the town. Well, at least that's the plan.
Okay.
Cat's Request, a detective story about an extraterrestrial cat named Ash and his virtual assistant living in Metropolis governed by artificial intelligence.
How about they just stick to the game Stray? That was the only cat game that came out in recent years, and it was excellent. Let's not take the piss now.
I'm actually surprised they didn't come out with more cat games after that. So
Stray, I hope they make Stray too. Stray was brilliant. It's coming out on Switch soon as well. It's coming out on every bloody platform. It was fantastic, that game. Just saying.
I've not played it.
It's great.
There's a game, I didn't even know there was the first game of this, but this is Thief Simulator 2. I didn't even know there was a 1.
It's popular.
I played a bit of that. I couldn't get into it. Yeah, I've had a kind of.
Matt does that in real life. Matt does that in real life, don't you? You live in London.
Oh, is that not a simulator?
Oh, yeah, it's real life, baby.
I VR thing on. I did a Johnny English.
Imagine a world full of valuables, expensive cars, and rustling banknotes. And he knows how to steal them? Is that what you've been doing lately?
Yeah, that explains a lot of things. Where I got this new printer and everything. And this.
Do you remember that game Hunt Showdown?
Yeah,
it came out.
Yeah.
It's free. Yeah, it's free, wasn't it? Was it free? Yeah.
Was it free?
No,
it wasn't free.
You had to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
I actually got it and played it, but I was getting beamed all the time, man. It was tough. Well, apparently they're coming out with Hunt Showdown 1896, which is a new era of the game.
It looked pretty old anyway.
So it's going to be like different things. So people that like that might get into that part of it.
Okay.
Bloodhound on August 16th. It's a heart-pounding, visceral experience designed for those who crave fast-paced and macabre gameplay. Okay.
I mean, sure.
That explains a lot. Yeah.
How about House of Golf? House of Golf 2. All right. Anybody? Unforgettable golfing adventure. Not just a game, but not just a game. What else could it be? But an invitation to create lasting memories with family and friends. Only if you can hit the golf ball and nail people in the head, then it would be lasting.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Break a few furniture.
Those are the few games coming out this week. more exciting, though, is probably some of the ones that are going to be coming up in September. Well, first of all, we have Star Wars Outlaws at the end of the month, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a couple other ones coming up that they just announced for September. There's a game called Star Trucker that's coming September 3rd.
What's that cross between Star Trek and Truckers MP?
Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty
It
much.
says, hop into the driver's seat of your rocket-powered big rig. There you go. As you haul cargo, scavenge for salvage, and interact with an eclectic cast of star-hopping truckers. And this, so apparently, I guess it's kind of like what you just said. It's going to be open road in space.
It is pretty much. You have to fix your truck on the way as well. I've got it on my wish list.
Gravity is a problem here, people. You didn't think of this one. Gravity is an issue. Just saying.
Well, remember the car in Back to the Future, man? The DeLorean just folded its tires up and took off. I mean,
so we're flying then. We're not actually driving. Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
This is the one I've been waiting for, Age of Mythology Retold. I thought this was going to be a remaster of Age of Mythology in some manner. Apparently, it's not. It comes from the creators of the Age of Empires franchise. That part is true. But Age of Mythology Retold goes behind history to the mythical age where gods, monsters, and humans collide, combining the best elements of the beloved game that we know of with modern real-time strategy design and visuals. So apparently, it's a new game, and I'm thinking it was just a remaster. It's not. It's a new game. So now I'm like more excited about it because it's been a long time since I played Age of Mythology, and I really liked it.
I'll give you a bit of deja vu though, Greg. We were around that kind of era when that game was themed on. So you'll be like, I drank with that guy, that main guy, that emperor. Bring back lots of memories for you.
And the graphics will be better too. But they were pretty good then, so I could replay those games, and those graphics are fine because they're above, like 16-bit. They get into the 32, 64 and above. Then I can handle it.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing above 64-bit now, mate. Technically,
for now,
because you get a 64-bit processor, don't you? So
now, did any of you? I didn't play this game, but did any of you ever play Frostpunk when it came?
Yes. Oh, the second one's coming out in Game
it.
Pass soon. It's free in Game Pass.
Yeah. Did you like it? Did you like
I did, but I'm a dum-dum and it's very hard for me. But I did try.
Well, in that case, Frostpunk 2 is coming. City Unbound.
What is the theme of this? Like freeze your balls, but twice as quickly.
It just kind of says develop, expand, and advance your city 30 years after an apocalyptic. I said it. See, blizzard ravaged Earth. It sounds like the same thing. Never-ending winter. I don't know.
Never-ending winter. Game of Thrones.
There you go. The winter is coming.
It's always been coming for bloody 8 seasons.
This next game I haven't heard anything about, but it's called Ara History Untold for PC. I've never heard of this game.
Is that puzzler?
No, it sounds more like a Civ game. It says build a nation, lead your people throughout history to the pinnacles of human achievement as you explore new lands, develop arts and cultures, conduct diplomacy. I mean, it all sounds like Civ, right? And goes head-to-head with your rivals to prove you're the greatest. Yeah, wait for Civilization 7.
Same shit, another name.
Coming.
Yeah.
Civ 7's coming eventually.
Pretty much.
And that's kind of what's coming up a little bit in the games for August and September.
As usual, 90% of it is guff. As usual.
No, some of those are good though. There's a couple of them.
That's why I said 90%, not 100. There's a few good ones in there. Yes, I'll give you that.
Hey, well, what's one person's great game is another person's trash. I mean, you don't know.
I mean, sure. I'll be diplomatic and say that. Yeah. Okay.
All right, we got some tech news coming, and Trev's going to lead off.
Oh, am I now?
Well,
am I now? I thought this was your shtick.
Oh, no, I'll be talking about it, but you'd put it in there, so I'm good.
No, did we not? I don't know if we touched on this before last week.
A couple of weeks we've done that one.
We did. What we did was we talked a little bit about Lossles Scaling, et cetera. And we were saying something along the lines that they were going to keep on pushing the software. So apparently now, I already thought it was pretty good that they were able to get 2 times frame rate, 3 times frame rate. Well, apparently now they're at 4 times frame rate. And I'm like, nah. And apparently it's true. As they said, the new update is going to actually work on making latency even better, so that you don't have as much problem with it, and it's going to be a true 4 times FPS. Now they did say though that this 4 times is going to be probably you're going to have a 240 hertz monitor like I got.
Why?
Because the higher they go on the frame rate, your monitor has to be a higher hertz in order to handle
or the
it.
less likely you are to see it because it's moving that bloody quick that you won't see the jaggies or the ghosting or whatever.
I mean, it gets technical, but basically they're saying that you're going to have to start moving up on the hertz if you're going to want to play it. I don't know where this ends. I mean, I don't know if they're going to go 5 times and 6 times just to say that they can do it, or something. But hey,
it still baffles me. Not baffles me. I find it fascinating that software can do this. I always thought in my heart of hearts it was always hardware based. Like you needed the grunt to physically do it, hence why the NVIDIA cards do it really well, but they're relying on literal hardware elements to actually do this. So, and it's $7 in the Steam store, so...
Yeah, you can't beat the price. I mean, to fool around with it for $7 is worth it. The one thing that was interesting, they were talking about, yes, they said true hardware, DLSS3 and FSR3 would be preferable if you have the card that can handle that. But there's so many people that don't. But they said that Lossles Scaling works with any in big letters game, including those with anti-cheat software.
Anti-cheat software doesn't stop you using DLSS or FSR.
Yeah, but I've heard so many different things about anti-cheat software. Some people really loathe it because it messes things up and lowers frame rates and all this stuff. But apparently it doesn't with this software. So that's a plus for people that are looking into things like that. But they're talking about this guy says that he would take the Lossles Scaling over AMD's fluid motion frames, AFMF. I got all these words. Although AMFF2 definitely gives Lossles Scaling a run for its money. So again, if you've got a card that could put up with it, like a lot of us do, maybe you don't need it. But then again, if you're going to play some really old games and you want to get a high frame rate, then maybe you should use it.
Am I right in saying, Great, am I right in saying AMD's software is, AMD's taking this is also software based? It's only NVIDIA that actually have a hardware based version, yeah? And I don't know about Intel. I think they're maybe hardware as well, but it's Intel. And the least we say about them and their issues right now, probably best.
Yeah, well, until they climb up the.
How's your CPU, mate? Is it looking a bit rusty there, Gray?
I'm smelling some smoke right now.
It's okay.
Yeah, I got little rust pieces coming out the back of the computer right now. It really makes it a nice color.
They've been absolutely slated right now, Gray. They've been above and beyond. They are chopping and changing all the news that they keep, like they're posting on forums and Reddits and stuff like that. And Steve is like the real life version of like Sherlock Holmes or something. The guy can go in and spot something that's been like the terminology or a word's been changed in it because Intel went back and superseded it and changed it to something else so that they can actually get out of it. It's like when I make spelling typos all the time in a message to Gray or Matt, I'll go in and it says edited because how many times have I edited that? That was Intel, professional company. They are up a certain creek without a paddle, without life preservers, without anything. They're screwed.
I think Gamer Nexus, right?
Gamer Nexus with Steve.
They basically have caused the Intel had to have nowhere to hide. I mean, literally.
He rips him a new one. He done the same with Asus as well. He ripped him.
Yeah, but you know what? What I like about him though is that not only does he rip a new one, but can you back it up? Yeah, a lot of people can rip them and not back it up. He backs it up with facts going back years.
And it worked. And it worked great because he got Asus round to the table. I mean, it did help that CEX was coming up, and he went to it, and he got agreements in place that he was going to speak to the people that mattered, and he kind of did, and they made kind of cast iron promises to him there and then. Because sometimes some of these head honchos sometimes don't know every single part of their business, and maybe they should, but maybe they don't always. So he managed to he put them to task, and I hope the same thing happens with Intel because Intel are even richer than Asus, so they can suffer this blow financially, but not until they chop some wood. Was it chop some wood, Gray? Was that what they said?
Yeah,
get rid of 12,000 people? Arseholes. Sorry, I interrupt your Lossless Scaling.
No,
I still need to download that. I need to, right after this, remind me, boys, I need to download
I've got it downloaded. I was going to try it, and then they talked about the 4X, and now I have to upgrade it.
So wait a minute.
yeah.
So what's the recommended minimum monitor FPS hertz that we should get if we want to do
Well,
this?
what are you guys running? 120 or?
I'm 144, which I'm happy with. I don't really need
144?
much more than that. But
What are
my
you
next
doing, Matt?
monitor
What are you
might
doing?
be a 240.
Oh, mine's
4K.
shockingly low. Mine's like 90.
10?
At least it's more than
90.
60. At least it's more than
60.
60, mate.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying if 3 times frame rate for monitors that are like 120, 140, whatever. If you're going to get to 4, then it's like I said before, you got to be rocking a 240. Like I said last week, I'm just lucky I have a 240 because when I bought the monitor, it was on sale and the deal was great, and it said it was 240, and I go like, yeah, cool. I didn't really think twice about it at the time, but now I'm thinking like, oh, okay, so now my 240 really will come in handy.
Yeah.
So now what does that mean if they ever go 5 times? Well, then you got to get a 350 hertz, and then if they go 6, you got to get a 800
1,000 hertz monitor. That was a thing that was
1,000
rumored as
hertz.
well. Yeah.
So then you're just going to get to the point where you paid $7 for the software, but you're going to pay $800, $1,000 for the monitor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'll probably be why.
You got to draw a line somewhere at some point.
That's what I'll probably do next year when I upgrade my rig. I don't really need to upgrade my monitor because it's a 4K LED LG number, like what 27 inch, but it's 144 hertz, and that's fine. But I think when I get my next one, I thought about getting an OLED, but I don't think that's wise with gaming because you have elements that always stay on the screen like HUDs all the time, and I know there's technologies that will refresh it and stuff. I'm just, it puts me off.
IPS.
No. So what I'll probably do is I'll get a QLED. You've probably heard of the QLEDs, yeah. It's like an LED on drugs. It's almost, if not comparable with OLED. I'll probably get I was looking at some of the Samsung Neo monitors, like a 4K 32 inch. I'll bump up, but not any higher than that because it's just in front of me. 32 inch 4K, 240 hertz. That sounds like the sweet spot for me, I think, because once you go 4K, baby, you can't go back.
You can't go back. Yeah,
Unless you get 8K, then you can go forward.
I'm 2K and I can't go back. But so
True. No, it's not. It's not technically 2K. Great. 1440p is not technically 2K because then it would be 14, wouldn't it? It's actually a bit higher.
I want to believe in something.
I know it sounds better. Right. Yeah. I've got my gaming news.
2K.
Unless you've still got more lossless
No,
stuff.
I'm good. You're up for your SteamOS.
I found this out was it yesterday, today? I find this really cool. Okay, we slag Valve sometimes for being money grabbing company and charging too much on Steam, like 30%.
It's a lot worse than them now.
Oh no, of course there is. But they are being very reasonable and fair. They want to try and bring out SteamOS, which they have on their Steam Deck, to other handhelds. Other handheld companies will take it up. Some people won't. I'm thinking with this one that they'll release it to probably the Asus ROG Ally, which is pretty cool. But I think, to be fair, hang on a second, let's just ban this person who's trying to put things in our chat.
Thank you.
See, I struggle to do it, boys. Come on, boys, come on.
Well, I'm not a mod, so I can't do it.
You what?
Anyway.
Are you not?
Yeah. No.
We need to fix that then.
Oh.
Remind me after. Right, so the SteamOS thing is a good option. I don't know if like the Asus would take them up on it. I hope they do, because the best handheld in the market for me right now for PC gaming is the Asus ROG Ally X. It really is. I mean, it cost $800, £800, but it's fantastic. I like the Steam Deck. It's got an older chip in it. It's locked to Steam, which is nice, but there's so many launchers out there. You want to be able to have a portable PC at the same time. And I know there's workarounds around it, boys, but it's not quite the same. So as well as offering their SteamOS to other handhelds, they are, as a priority, working on dual booting on their Steam Deck. So you can go between SteamOS and Windows. Now, Windows is possible in Steam Deck, but not as a dual boot option. You have to wipe it, install Windows on it. And when you install Windows on it, there's only some basic drivers on it. Valve have not made it a priority. So now they're like, listen, we'll work on the rest of the Windows drivers that you need. Because right now, if you game on Windows on Steam Deck and you do a game via SteamOS, it's night and day difference. It's a lot better on SteamOS because it's configured for it. So that is only a good thing. I would probably still get a ROG Ally X at one point if they do it in the sales for a good price, because that's a portable PC, it's a powerhouse, and it's great all at the same time. So the sooner they bring that out, the better. But I can't afford it at the moment because 800 is too much.
I think the dual boot's a great idea.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to worry about wiping or anything. You can go back and forth.
It's a no-brainer, mate. And
Especially if they got the Xbox support, so you don't have to keep modding.
You do all the launchers on it.
Steam Deck or anything, yeah.
I'm sure where did I see that? I don't know if it was for the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally X that one of them had all the different launchers in one menu. It might have been the Steam Deck.
That'd be the Ally. No.
Is it Allies? Yeah, it had all the launchers, all the PC launchers in one place. It was like seamless. I really liked that. So yeah, I thought I would mention it because let's not forget on this channel, we talk about gaming news and games we've played, but I'm very conscious that this channel started on mainly PC gaming, and while that's really important to the three of us, and it always remain popular, we'll talk about other things, but we'll also still talk about hardware news and news outside gaming, like hardware, like this kind of thing.
I think it's a part of it. It's a part of it, isn't it?
100% is part of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
including consoles.
I know, but we've got to be fair to all. We're fair to all. We don't judge. We don't criticize.
If you want me to have a PlayStation 5, there's a GoFundMe. What?
What? So we're funding this for Matt so he can play PlayStation games. But yeah, anyway, so that is the interesting bit. There's about 15 minutes. No, actually, no, there's like 25 minutes or so left. Great. Not that we have to finish bang on the minute. So you've got definitely time for your mod corner and the quiz if you want.
I'll just talk really fast. No, thank you.
What happened to the AI thing? You moved that? You got rid of that?
Yeah, because there's some more research I got to do because.
Right.
I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I spent 2 hours making notes on that, and I did it help.
I got 3 pages on AI and how it's.
And how did you get it? I used AI. I used AI to do 3 pages worth of AI.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Copilot all the way.
And actually, I got quite a few sites bookmarked about it. And one of them comes from Columbia University, which did a study. So it was kind of like there's a lot of stuff on it there. But we will get into it. We'll try to make it a series too, because I think it'd be too much to try to discuss in one shot.
Really quickly, I don't know if you're still in the chat because it was popping up. Mr. Comic Clown, there's a big fishing update coming out to Once Human, which we had a little chuckle at, and we shouted you out earlier on, thinking you'll be right at home in this, because I think you're probably playing this at the moment, aren't you? So. As are we. So,
how many fish have you got?
Yeah, how big's your rod? Is in the game? In the game,
I saw it.
You
gotta buy it. You gotta buy it, dude. You don't buy it. It's free. You gotta go fishing, man. Everything we read is fishing is good. You'll catch more in the game probably than in real life.
Oh, I'm fighting talk. Great. What have you caught? That's painful.
Actually, you know what I like watching over here every once in a while? On Saturday and Sunday morning on our sports channel over here, they do bass fishing contests. And they cover them, at quite a length. There's like 2 or 3 hours each morning. And pretty amazing. And I don't know if you've seen a comic, but I was very impressed. They have cameras on the boats. They have their rangefinders going on for the fish underneath. I mean, they got a real... technical as well as, just regular sports, catching the fish, but it's pretty wild how far it's gotten. But anyway, I wanted to mention something with the mod corner I thought was kind of cool. If you remember, maybe in past podcasts, I had mentioned about CD Projekt Red had released a mod kit. And now everybody that had been creating mods for Witcher 3 and stuff like crazy now have an official kit so they can make the mods much easier. So they're going nuts, making mods. But I thought this was interesting. This next thing, CD Projekt Red decided to start a contest, and the contest is going out to all these modders to go ahead and make your best mod. And they will look it over and see what's up with it and award prizes. So I was like, really? Because I've never seen anything like this. There's never been a dev company that I remember that would sit there and actually have a contest, offer prizes for a mod. So apparently they said that you have to be a team of up to 5 people. They want you to create a new quest line. It has to have 2 or 3 interconnected quests. So quests off the quest. And the submission deadline is October 14th. They have to use the red kit, which is the dev kit for making the mods, which why wouldn't you if you're going to be doing modding? And of course, you can get that downloaded on various places. You must not use AI, number 1. Number 2, obviously, you cannot infringe on copyrights and you cannot do NSFW content. So those are the few parameters they set up. But if you win first place, they're going to give you all this stuff: an RTX 4080, a Basilisk version 3 Pro and Mouse Dock Pro.
Only a 4080 tight arse. It should be a 4090 or a 5090.
Yeah, at least.
Probably because they're giving away all this other stuff. Well, we're not done yet. They get a Black Widow V4, 75%.
Ooh,
and they get a Kraken V3 Hypersense. They get dynamic red Witcher jersey. They get dynamic playing cards and an insert coin Witcher jacket.
A what now?
So Insert Coin's a company that makes it. So the Witcher jacket, all that for first place if you win. So that's pretty good. Second and third place prizes will get some bundles. They're all going to get would get a Witcher goodie bag, etc. So they do get something, but obviously first place gets the best stuff.
Coco,
so I thought that was really cool.
Sorry.
I know, and I got the door closed.
Just help your dog.
So in this case, I thought it was something different. I've never heard this before. I'm going to be anxious to find out who wins because this is going to actually make mods go crazy. You think there's a lot out now? Just wait into between now and October 14th. There's going to be all kinds of mods out there. Even the ones that don't win will probably be good mods.
Greg,
So
you need to change your name, man. You ever consider just? Can you not call yourself Grey Mod?
Grey Mod?
Seriously, Grey Mod 25. It should be Grey Gamer, but it should be Grey Mod. That's press. I love that username. +1 from me.
Okay, no problem. I'll change it tomorrow. No, only kidding.
Oh.
So one other thing I wanted to get about in the theme of, so we're mentioning Fallout so much, there is a mod out there. I don't know if you know, but it's called Fallout Resurrection.
Ooh.
And Fallout Resurrection, apparently from the community out there that really enjoy Fallout, they say that this is one of the best Fallout mods ever made. It's basically, I think it covers. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah. They said that they're calling it Fallout 1.5 Resurrection. Apparently, they're building off the first Fallout and taking it from there. They originally released it back in 2016, but now it's going through a whole new resurgence and improvements and stuff like that. I don't know a whole lot more about it, but they said that the story is very dark and atmosphere reminiscent of the original Fallout. You can make different choices, different consequences. Everybody's saying that this is definitely one of the best that you should look into. So if you're into modding, as we talk about on here, and you like Fallout, maybe you might want to check this out and install it and see what you think.
Another one for me to try.
Yeah, so I thought I'd just kind of try that in there.
Okay.
You guys want to roll into the quiz or what?
Yeah, but we did do it last week because Matt was busy. So you can do it to 2 people, but Gray kinda I think knows the answers, so it doesn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of
doesn't really count. I'm not doing it myself. No way. So we can do it, mate. Yeah, go for it.
Go there.
All right, here we go. Our gaming quiz. All right, first question. I'll read. Which video game console released in 2006 pioneered the use of motion controls in its gameplay? One more time. Which video game console released in 2006 pioneered the use of motion controls in its gameplay?
No.
What? Which one?
I was going to say something there.
Say it anyway.
No, because because that wasn't the first one.
Scythe's on it. I'm copying Scythe. Wii U. Or is it the Wii?
Yeah.
What was the difference between the Wii U and Wii U between them?
The Wii U is that handheld.
Yeah, but why did Scythe say Wii U instead of the Wii then?
He's Canadian. No. Sorry.
Harsh.
No,
Harsh.
it's the Wii. It's the original Wii because it has those things that you had in the nunchuck.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Motion controls.
Oh,
then-
I was thinking accessibility. I don't know why. Sorry.
Yeah, and then PlayStation brought out the Move after that, and then you had the Xbox Connect.
Right.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry,
you're gonna
go on.
stick with Wii or Wii U?
Wii.
We let's go. We
And the answer is Wii.
yay.
Very good.
Woo.
Very, very good. All right, let's see if you can keep it up. On the second, well, that's what. Yeah, never mind. The first,
No.
the first Final
So now that's
Fantasy
me.
game.
Go.
The first Final Fantasy game was released in which year?
Ah, for
First
feck's
Right,
sake.
the Final Fantasy was released in which year? The first one.
Right. Okay. I'm going to guess.
Good time.
93.
1993. Okay, 1993.
Late
What about you?
80s. 89.
The late 80s.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Sai says 94.
one? All right, so 93, 94. You're saying what, Matt? 80,
89-ish?
89?
Yeah. Are we talking
No,
about the
we got-
original? Yeah, go on.
Okay, we got to give it to Matt because he's the closest. It was 1987.
Wow.
87.
I was
Yeah, I was surprised
Four.
too. I didn't think it was that far back.
That
I
a
was
classic.
4 and Gray must have just turned like 60 or something.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be at least
Sorry,
20.
Matt was in mid drink of his beer and I done
I
that.
look
Sorry,
better
mate.
than 20.
Wow.
Okay, here's a little question out there for Assassin's Creed fans like me. The question is, what is the name? This is not really that hard if you think about it.
Right.
What is the name of the scientific project in Assassin's Creed? Again, what is the name of the scientific project in Assassin's Creed? A little hint. That's the one I hate in the game. I never bother with.
I
I
don't like
find-
Assassin's Creed, so I generally couldn't tell you, man.
I know it begins with an A.
Very good. So does Assassin's Creed. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Have you got a guess on this one, Matt? I mean, have you played it? Do you like it?
He knows what I'm
played
talking
every
about. He
single
doesn't know the
Assassin's
name.
Creed, but I normally keep away from the Amanate.
Oh, you're close.
Amana.
Come on, Matt. You're close.
Yeah,
Go.
Adelix.
Tommy! Are you okay there, my
All
friend?
right, so Matt was
Yeah.
sort of close, if you want to call it that. It's Animus.
Animus. See, that's what I said.
Damn it! Oh, right. Yeah. that.
Animus.
That's Irish. That's Gaelic for.
When I played these, first of all, I like the newer. Well,
Somebody help Matt. He's having a stroke over there, man.
Hair's going in all.
That's one
God.
game
Tintin.
aspect. Like some people like it. I hate the Animus. I mean,
Yeah.
I played this. I like the
Animus,
Assassin's
that's
Creed
what it
from
is.
Origins on, and Origins still had some Animus going on. Valhalla's had some Animus going on, but they keep reducing the role of the Animus more and more and more, which is fine because it should just be gone. In the early Creed games, I only played 1 or 2. Wow, was that boring as hell? Because they did a lot with Animus, and I'm like, get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Stop with the stupid Animus crap.
You had to come out and everything, didn't you? And
Oh my
play
God,
with the
you'd be sitting
machine
there
and
getting into the
everything.
game, and they'd be going like, "Oh, back to the Animus," and the guy
Yeah.
wakes up and goes, "Oh, I woke up and I had this dream that I just played it. I don't
So
have to tell
boring.
me that. I played it already."
Yeah, I find
I
that
said,
bit.
well, let's go back
so
into the
boring.
Animus and continue from where we left off. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it is pointless having it there, including going in the office as well.
Yeah, that whole thing with the
Yeah.
phone office and
What-
report and
What did
go sit behind the desk and talk about your
Yeah.
BS.
What did you boys make of the movie with Fassbender in it? I bear in mind, I don't know much about Assassin's Creed. I knew even less when that movie came out, and I liked it for what it was. It used that word that Matt and I can't say, that device, to send them back to another era. It was a bit like Quantum Leap, actually. Put them in someone's body. Is that Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed? Puts them in, or does it actually send the whole body back into another timeline?
Just the mind, isn't it?
It's the mind into someone else's body, so someone's body's
yeah.
mind's gone for a while.
Yeah.
Supposedly,
It's Quantum Leap.
Keep going while
Oh boy.
Sorry. Had to be done. I love that show. The reason I bring that up as well, and I remember, was because I put something in the Star Trek TTW channel on the server. The boys that do the Shuttle Pod show before, Connor Trenier and what's the other guy? Dominic something, right? The guys that were in Star Trek Enterprise, they changed to another show called the Decon Chamber. And a new backer, like we don't know what happened to the Shuttle Pod show. They got a new wealthy backer that basically pays the guest to come on. He's a big Star Trek rich guy.
You know what? Wait! I got to interrupt for a second. You know what Decon is over here?
It's from Star Trek Enterprise. It's where you go in to get, like, before they done the removal of the microbes.
Yeah, but over here there's a product called Decon. I'm assuming it's still on the market shelves. It's bug spray.
Well, it makes sense. If you said the problem is you don't watch enough Star Trek Enterprise, so you missed that, mate. Like, they go in there and there's T'Pol's in there, Jolene Blaylock, not wearing much at all. Actually, it was phenomenal, and they have to like rub gel on each other with like these lights on them. That's how they.
That wasn't gel he was using.
No, I'm not biting. I'm not biting. But anyway, they managed to get Scott Bakula on for the first time ever. Like. And it was really, if you like Star Trek, go and watch this, guys. It was phenomenal. But they were talking about his quantum leap days. And I'm like, the concept of that show is brilliant. But man, I get bored of that so quick.
Oh, yeah. First of all,
and then they brought out the new one, which is absolutely shit.
I know there's fans out there of Scott Bakula, but he is not one of my favorite actors. So it's tough for me to watch.
I love him.
Anything that he's in.
He's 71. He's 71, Gray, and he looks younger and better than you.
Well, I will say one thing. Then I thought he was good in Enterprise, even though I wasn't overly fond.
He was a good
series.
captain. He was a good captain.
But he was better in that than he was in Quantum Leap.
The only reason he took that, he wasn't interested normally, is because they said you'll be the first ever captain. He's like, ooh, okay, now you got my attention. You know? Sorry, that should be more for the TTW stuff, shouldn't it? But we go and rant. So Mercy and Likes love that show. What one?
We can go on a rant and talk about our grocery list.
Quantum Leap.
Oh, Quantum Leap. Oh, really? Ziggy, and then what's his name? Dean Stockwell. Rest in peace. Dean Stockwell not with us anymore. But Ziggy was always bashing this thing. Come on, you stupid. How many times have we done that? Work, you bloody phone, you know? Ziggy.
It worked.
You know what I'd like? You know what I'd like to see or recreated or whatever is you guys probably don't remember this, but years ago they had a TV show called The Time Tunnel.
Yeah.
When I was a kid watching this thing, it was like one of the most amazing programs because the whole premise was they literally walked into a huge device that they built and it looked like
Discord cut out from on a pile of.
Wow, that was weird. I don't know are we still streaming?
I'm back. Yeah, we are. We're good.
Woo. Anyway, so Time Tunnel was a thing where they walk literally into this tunnel thing. And they would be thrown into some other time, and they have to sit there and figure out what to do and everything. I thought it was a great concept, and I was surprised they never really thought about trying to do it again, or whatever. But anyway,
what a shit title, man! What a shit title. Oh, and by the way,
it's cool.
Mercy and I also love Star Trek Enterprise too. It's not my favorite Trek, but it got a lot better towards the end. It actually ended when it was really, really good. And that's why all the cast were pissed off, because they were actually starting to get really good. Then they cancelled them because of that stupid UPN channel in the States. But anyway.
Well, that was one reason. But the other thing is, if you get good in the last year of your series, it means you can't sell the series for syndication.
Yeah, that was the problem. Yes, that was, and that's a big thing back then.
It's right. Now
it doesn't matter.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
But so if you want to hear more about the gaming and PCs and even tangents, then you need to tune in next week for another one of our podcasts.
Great. We have a few minutes, and it's a kind of.
Can I talk about one?
If you're really quick.
Future game. Very quick. One I like.
Or do you want to save it for next week? You can touch on it just now and talk about it more next week. Have you played it?
It's called The Precinct. It looks great. No, because it's not out yet. And we don't know when it's coming out, but it's coming out.
Well, add it to the end of the notes, and we'll anything you know about it, we'll discuss next week. Yeah. The real important thing is, we're going to do a Twitch stream every Wednesday for the most part. starting next week, as Gray touched on already. But that ties in with us just trying to take things to another level. For example, this mic isn't just levitating in midair if you're watching on Twitch or a VOD. It's, I mean, I'm good. I'm not that good.
Levitate, man.
It's got a monitor arm that's huge. About a really good. I keep calling it a monitor arm, a boom arm, a mic arm to go across my monitor. Yeah. But I'm maybe going to get one that comes underneath. So I got a better mic, Rode Podcast XLR mic, and also got a Stream Deck Plus, the one with the little dials and knobs on it and the touch panel. And it's got a little attachment. It can go into the back, an XLR dock. So I got this. It's an all-in-one device. I was trying to make it sound better. So we're trying to take the production level up. So hopefully I sound a bit better, because I know the accent's not the easiest sometimes. And Matt's as well. Let's not just pick on Scotland, let's pick on Ireland as well. Pick on the Celts. So new hardware, new ideas. We're at another streaming night. But as we touched on last week, this weekend we're going to move across to something called Riverside FM. If you Google that, it's just literally, you might have seen, it's kind of like StreamYards, but way better. It's the same idea where you get everything nice and clean and you can share your screen and rearrange people, and you don't have these stupid Discord borders. We don't have to deal with Discord anymore because it is god-awful, despite us paying for it. So that will be gone soon. We hope to have it up and running for the podcast next Thursday.
We still have Discord.
Well, yeah, of course we will. Yeah. But the priority is always the pod.
Recording.
And it's a good thing is, even if it goes a bit Pete Tong, it records locally on your machine, Matt. So if you were playing up one day, after it's finished, you just need to keep your tab open on the browser for a while. It'll just upload your file, and it's a separate video and audio file. So Gray can go and have happy time with himself, because that guy's an audio snob. He loves it all. He wants all
the audio and video.
He loves tweaking it.
So it's honestly, if you're interested in any of the audio video side of podcasting, go and check it out, because it's fascinating. So we're going to try that out, and hopefully it sounds. I don't know if we can include our weekly gaming pod into it. We only get 15 hours a month with it. Maybe we can put in one stream. I'm not sure. We'll see. The priority is the podcast.
Yeah, we can probably pick out a stream like for a bigger game or something.
Yeah. And also we might be doing it with GGR or the Trekway. So we'll see. But the priority is definitely for Thursday's podcast for sure. So look and sound a lot better. Even Matt is. We never asked him. Generally, we never asked him. He's showed off the logo. We'll touch on that in a sec as well. Even Matt, we never asked him. He went away and just purchased a new a mic. He's getting the same mic as Gray. I would have went for that mic as well, but it's not XLR, so it's a good mic. It's a cracking the Blue Yeti X Pro or something like that. Good mic. So he's getting that. He hopefully have it in place for next week. So he's up in his game. So cheers, Matt. We never asked him to do that. Never paid him nothing. He works for free, get the whip out. Oh yeah, you enjoyed that. And like the last thing is, we've got, and maybe we'll get him on at some point to talk about it. Someone who's been part of the Discord for a long time, but just turned it off for 2 or 3 years. We understand why people do that. They've had enough sometime. Cheney's done that recently. He hasn't fallen out with us. He's just had enough of it, and I respect that. I get it. Someone else who turned Discord off for a few years was Jansen. He was always part of the server. He's just like, I've had enough. I'm turning it off. I respect that. He's talking a bit more in the channel now, in the server now, and he was always really good at the design stuff back in the day, like all the logos. What was the software he uses again? Blender. Great. Blender, yeah. So we were working with him and some ideas. Just we'll always be Extreme Gaming Podcast. We'll always have an E for our symbol, but just trying to jazz it up a little bit and try to take that game to the next level, because we love the podcast and we want to make it better. So that's all for me, unless you boys want to contribute anything to that.
We're remastering ourselves.
Yes, we're going to
modernizing.
So Gray, if we're getting remastered, and considering Gray's the oldest, you must be great. You must be 8-bit or something. Well, Matt's like 64-bit and I'm 128-bit or something. You must be 8-bit, mate. We need to remaster you. We need lossless scaling times 4 as well.
Hey, yeah, there it is. I think you bit off more than you can chew. But I'm
Oh, God.
and with
He's
that,
sacked.
Yeah.
we're going to say bye-bye until next week. So tune in every Thursday as usual to hear all our craziness and all the good stuff going on out there. So appreciate everybody showing up, all you guys. We've had a blast, and we will talk to you sooner than you think. Say
Bye,
goodbye,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want two stars, a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No one